All right, another spark and another build. And greetings. Glad you're back at the Forge. Today we are stripping away the theory. We're plugging directly into the heart of the game once again.
We're simulating another stimulating live PvP match in the world of Tools and Titans. This is where cardboard and code collide, where strategy isn't just planned,
It's executed. And for anyone new to the Forge, the engine of this game is built on 6 core actions, a rhythm that dictates every battle.
It's the foundation of everything you're about to hear. So how do you play Tools and Titans? Easy. Draw your cards,
Charge your energy,
build your field,
act with your powers,
clash with your Titans,
end your turn, 6 steps, 1 epic battle.
and today's battle is a masterclass in contrasts. We have Rivgore, the Code Eater, going up against Voltara, the Sparkmind.
This is the Code Eater versus the Sparkmind. A war of attrition versus explosion. In one corner, we have Pavro, Handle. At Pavro TCG, he's a professional indie game dev tester. His job is to find exploits and break systems.
And his chosen Titan reflects that perfectly. Rivgore is an ability shredder, a Titan born from the elemental weave of logic and null. His entire design is about rewriting the game's rules to his favor. His deck is pure Null Control.
Null Control is a devious archetype. It doesn't seek to overpower the opponent. It seeks to unmake their strategy, to deny their resources, erase their key cards, and leave them with a handful of useless junk. He's not here to fight. He's here to dismantle.
And in the other corner, we have Vess, Handle, at Vess TCG. She's a popular strategy streamer, and she pilots Voltara, the Sparkmind. Voltara is one of the original 12 Tool Titans, the electrician. She embodies the elemental weave of spark, pure, unadulterated energy.
Vess plays her as an aggro catalyst. Her deck is a burst engine. The goal is simple: generate an overwhelming amount of charge, and then channel it into a single devastating turn that obliterates the opponent. She's playing checkers with explosives.
This matchup is a philosophical war. Does the patient, surgical deconstruction of the Code Eater beat the raw, explosive power of the Sparkmind? Let's get to the pre-match setup, the ForgeGate protocol.
Pavro shuffles his 46-card Null Control deck. He performs his Divine Draw, flipping the top 7 cards. He finds 1 charge token, a small but crucial head start.
He draws his opening hand, a solid start for a control player. He immediately places a tool, the Ghostline Scrambler, into his Forge zone, and a task card, Code Lock Override, into his midfield. This signals his long-term strategy. He's planning turns ahead.
Now for Vess and Voltara, she shuffles her 46-card Burst Engine deck. She flips her top 7 for the Divine Draw and 0 charge tokens. That is a brutal opening for a deck that needs to ramp its energy fast.
A stumble right out of the gate. She draws her opening 7. You can see her adjusting her plan. She places her own tool, the Arc Split Injector, into her Forge zone, and a task, Pulse Burst Sequence, into her midfield. She's betting that she can recover.
The stage is set. The players are ready. Let's head into round 1.
Okay, Forge phase. Instantly, both Titans' field effects activate. Rivgore's passive Null Aura emanates. All tasks with keyword Reinforce begin with -1 threshold.
Subtle, but huge. He is literally bending the rules of the game. Meanwhile, Voltara's Weave field pulses with surge energy. Ps1 casts speed to tools in the Forge zone this turn. Speed versus sabotage. Right away.
Draw phase. Pavro draws a Weave card, Null Carve Paradox. Vess draws an ally, the Fiend Familiar. A cheap, aggressive body to get on the board.
Charge phase. Both players gain their 1 passive charge. This puts Rivgore at 2 charge. And Vess also at 2. This is not where Vess wants to be. She needs to be ahead in energy. Pavro is perfectly happy with this parity.
Task phase. Pavro looks at his code lock override. Thanks to his passive aura, its threshold is already reduced from 3 to 2. He's accelerating his win condition.
Vess needs to get moving. She pays 1 charge to initiate her Pulse Burst sequence. This is the task that gives her a bonus draw next turn if she plays a cast card. An investment.
Action phase. First interaction. Pavro plays his Null Carve Paradox. He targets Vess's main engine piece, the Arc Split Injector, and disables it for 1 turn.
A direct hit, shutting down her energy ramp. But Vess responds instantly. She plays a cast card from her hand. Twin Bolt Relay.
It's a brilliant counter. Twin Bolt Relay duplicates the passive effect of the tool that was just disabled, and applies it to a phantom tool for the turn. He shut down her hardware, so she created a software copy.
Incredible. She weaponized the disruption. And because she played a cast card, her Pulse Burst sequence is satisfied. A bonus draw is coming her way.
Clash phase. Her new ally, the Volt Fiend familiar, charges into the center control zone. It's a small creature, but it establishes a board presence. Pavro has no frontline ally. He forfeits zone control.
End phase. The first round clearly goes to Vess. She overcame a bad draw, navigated disruption, and secured a resource advantage for the next turn. Her Twin Bolt Relay was the MVP move.
The board state shows Voltara with early dominance, but Rivgore is doing exactly what a control deck does, laying the groundwork. It's a slow burn.
Going into round 2, Vess starts her draw phase and gets 2 cards. She draws a structure, the Static Condenser, and another cast card, Flashover.
Pavro draws his 1 card, a tool called Recursive Eraser. The names in his deck are just chilling.
Charge phase. They both gain another passive charge. Both players are at 3. Vess still hasn't pulled ahead in her energy pool.
Task phase. Pavro's code lock override advances again, 1 step away from completion. The pressure is mounting.
Action phase. Vess plays her new structure, the Static Condenser, for 2 charge. Its effect: whenever she plays a cast card, it gains a charge counter. At 3 counters, she can detonate it for massive damage. She is building a bomb on the board.
But Pavro has other plans. He plays his Recursive Eraser tool. It costs him 2 charge, but its passive effect is brutal. The first time an opponent's card would go to the junkyard each turn, it is exiled instead.
And that is a huge problem for Vess. It shuts down any recursion she might have planned. No getting key cards back from the discard pile. Pavro is methodically removing all of her safety nets.
Clash phase. Vess's Volt Fiend attacks Rivgore directly. Just a small chip of damage. A statement. Pavro takes the hit. He's sacrificing early health for control later.
End phase. The Static Condenser sits there, waiting. Pavro's code lock override is ready to trigger next turn. This round feels like a draw. Vess built a threat, but Pavro built a prison.
Every Titan turn, draw, charge, building act, clash, end, 6 steps, infinite ways to forge your victory. The game is now a tense standoff.
Round 3 begins. And the first thing that happens is Pavro's task, code lock override, completes. Its effect triggers: target opponent discards a card at random, and you may look at their hand.
Devastating. Vess discards her Flashover cast. Worse, Pavro now has perfect information. He knows every threat left in her hand.
This is the power of Null Control. It doesn't fight fair. It makes it so your opponent can't fight at all.
Draw phase. Pavro draws a card that makes him smile. Syntax Shatter. Vess draws a simple charge card. She needs it.
Action phase. Pavro goes for the jugular. He plays Syntax Shatter. He targets Vess's Static Condenser. The effect? Destroy target structure. Its controller takes damage equal to its charge cost.
Not only does he destroy her bomb, he deals 2 damage directly to Vess for building it. And because of recursive eraser, the static condenser is exiled, gone from the game forever.
A massive tempo swing. Vess spent her entire last turn on a threat that has now been turned against her. She has 1 card left in hand. A lone Volt Fiend on the board. She uses her turn to simply play her charge card, trying to rebuild.
Clash phase. The little Volt Fiend attacks again. It feels insignificant now. Pavro has seized complete control of the game's flow. This round was a masterclass. The payoff from that early task card flipped the entire game.
Entering round 4. Vess is on the ropes. She needs a miracle. She draws her card for the turn. It's a structure, Aegis Capacitor.
This could be an answer. The Aegis Capacitor is a defensive structure. Its text reads, "Your Titan cannot be targeted by opponents' weave cards or abilities as long as this structure is on the field." It's a shield, a way to stop the surgical dismantling from Rivgore.
She has enough charge. She plays it immediately. For the first time in 2 rounds, a look of relief on Vess's face. Voltara is now shielded from Rivgore's direct meddling.
Pavro's turn. He draws. He sees the Aegis Capacitor. He can't target Voltara directly anymore, but Rivgore's strategy has layers. He calmly plays an ally card from his hand, Glitch Gremlin.
The Gremlin isn't strong, but its ability is key. At the start of your turn, place a -1/-1 counter on target ally or a crack counter on target structure. He can't target the Titan, so he'll target her shield. He places the Glitch Gremlin on the board.
Clash phase. Vess's Volt Fiend, seeing a new target, attacks the Glitch Gremlin and destroys it. A smart move, removing the immediate threat. But the damage is done. The seed of decay is planted.
End phase. Vess has a shield, but Pavro has shown he has an answer for everything. He's not trying to break the wall down. He's just going to let it crumble on its own. The round goes to Pavro for maintaining pressure.
Round 5. At the start of his turn, Pavro's Glitch Gremlin would have triggered, but it was destroyed. Vess has a moment of breathing room. She draws. Another ally. She plays it, trying to build a board.
But Pavro is relentless. He draws his card. It's a weave card. System Corruption. The card doesn't target a Titan. It targets a zone. All structures in target zone gain. At the beginning of your turn, take 1 damage. He targets Vess's backline, where her Aegis Capacitor is.
It's a death by 1,000 cuts. He can't shatter the shield, so he's making the shield corrode itself. At the start of her next turn, the Aegis Capacitor will take damage, and it only has 1 health.
Vess sees the writing on the wall. There's no way out. Every threat she plays, he has an answer. Every defense she builds, he finds a way to decay it. She extends the hand. She concedes the match.
A decisive victory for Pavro and Rivgore, a truly brilliant display of Null Control. It might not be flashy, but it is brutally, inevitably effective.
And that simulation shows the incredible depth of Tools and Titans. A game where your strategy, your Titan, and your understanding of those 6 phases are everything.
The key turning point was the completion of Code Lock Override in Round 3. It gave Pavro perfect information, and he used it to dismantle every subsequent play Vess made. His MVP card was Recursive Eraser, which prevented Vess from ever recovering her key combo pieces.
In every match of Tools and Titans, your tradecraft unfolds in 6 simple moves. Draw,
Charge,
building,
act,
clash,
end. Simplicity for the novice, mastery for the Titan.